Okay, good morning. I heard that DC 33 was here, so I'm going to try it again. Good morning. Good morning. So good morning, my name is Representative Malcolm Kenyatta, and today I'm here with the people who make sure our communities actually work, AFSCME District Council 33. And we're incredibly excited to have them here because in this building, we have an opportunity to do better by the men and women who are standing behind me today. You know, sometimes, I often say this at press conferences, but it's true. Sometimes we have legislation that's introduced in this building that is complex, that's complicated, that takes a lot of mental gymnastics to try to understand. But what we're talking about today is something that is not complex at all. It's about making sure that our workers are not only treated with the dignity, decency, and respect that they deserve on the job, but that they get to do the jobs that they do safely, that they get to do the work that they do for our communities safely, that the people who pick up our trash, that the folks who make sure our kids don't get hit by buses when they're going to school, that the people who ensure that our infrastructure, like our water and our electrical systems, are able to provide the critical support that our families all depend on, that they get to do that work safely. Every single one of us, when we get up in the morning, we deserve to come home in the same condition that we left out of our doors in that morning. But right now, there is a literal assault on public workers, and there is a constant threat that is hanging over the heads of these public workers as they do their jobs. Right to my left, you see a poster of just two such instances. Folks who showed up to work and were shot simply in the course of doing their job. No one should be shot, assaulted, or harmed doing their job. And we as elected officials should say hell no to that. Absolutely hell no to that. I've been clear about this over the course of my career and very unshy about it. I recognize that our criminal justice system has a lot of work to do to be fair and more just, particularly to folks that look just like me. But the reality is this, and I want to say this clearly to folks, and this is what this legislation is about this morning. If you assault, if you shoot, if you attack a public worker, you will be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law, and you will go to jail, period. Period. Now, the legislature, in our great wisdom, has understood that we have to provide greater protections for public workers, and we've done that over the years. For folks who are boring like me and Chairman Briggs, you might have read the Crimes Code. And in the Pennsylvania Crimes Code, we have something that's called Title 18. And under Title 18, it provides for greater protections for a subset of public workers. And what we've done over the years is add in public workers one job at a time. And so if you look at the statute, it's 39 lines long of different workers that we've added in one at a time. But the reality is we have over 1,000 different public civil service jobs that are in our communities operating, doing critical work, but who are not protected under Title 18. And so what my legislation would do is to say all public workers, all of them, including the workers that you're going to hear from today, are protected with this increased protection that is afforded under Title 18. I believe that all of our workers at the county, municipal, or township level should have this protection. Right now, as a legislator, I'm covered under this. Many other elected officials are covered under this. Thankfully, our law enforcement members are covered under this. But the two workers who you're going to hear from today, they ought to be covered as well. And I think the work that they do is just as important as the work that I do, and they ought to have the same level of protection as the elected officials who represent them. And I know that in this building, sometimes getting bipartisan agreement is a little bit elusive. But today I'm introducing this legislation with a Republican co-prime sponsor, Representative Rigby, who is in a committee hearing with another piece of legislation, and so he cannot be here with us this morning. But I want to thank Representative Rigby. I want to thank my other Republican colleagues who've signed on to this legislation, and I want to thank so many of my Democratic colleagues who've signed on to this legislation, because this is about simple fairness. This is about basic protection for the folks who get up every single day and bust their asses for us, and we need to make sure that they're protected. And so I want to introduce next the president of AFSCME District Council 33, incredible leader, and my good friend, President Gregg.
Good morning, everyone. Again, my name is President Greg Boulware of District Council 33 in Philadelphia. We are here this morning with a very brief message to say that our public workers come and work proudly every day to make sure we represent Philadelphia and service all the needs across the great city of what we have. But we recognize that there was an issue with violence occurring in our workplaces every single day, and it's increased and gotten worse over time. And so what we're here today is to ask for protection to make sure that our people can go to work every day safely. They can return to their homes in the same manner in which they came to work in the morning. And we need to have this in place so that people can know that in the workplace, it's not okay to just assault a public worker. It's not okay to attack anybody. It's not okay to shoot or maim somebody while they're just trying to provide a service to the great many people that serve Philadelphia across the city. So we're here today. We have two members with us here that unfortunately have encountered such attacks, but we need to have this legislation passed. Our people need to be safe in the workplace, feel safe, and our legislators need to be in place to make sure that those things can happen so that we have that happen in place. All we want to do is go to work, do our jobs, and feel safe and comfortable while we're doing those. That is our very brief message. So thank you for your time this morning. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Prez. And as was said, we're going to hear from two workers today. And I want to invite up Brother Ramson, a sanitation worker who's getting up every single day, picking up the trash literally, who has experienced this. I want to bring him up to just briefly share his story.
Good morning. My name is Dennis Ransom. I'm a sanitation employee. It was a normal day. I thought I felt safe. I thought I was safe. Doing my job, what I do every day, what I love to do, cleaning the city of Philadelphia. Working on Kennington Avenue, I was using a blower. We was doing a Kennington initiative. Somebody ran behind me and bust me in my head, gave me 9 stitches up top and 11 stitches in the inside. Just doing my job. Since then, I get a little worried every now and again. I always look over my shoulder, look behind me a lot. But I still love my job and I like going there. I just want to be safe when I'm there. Thank you.
Brother Ramson, I want to thank you and for make sure everybody heard what he said. 11 stitches just for showing up to work to do his job. Nobody should have that happen. And I'm really happy that leading the Judiciary Committee, we have somebody who has been a champion for reform, but also a champion for protecting our people. And so I want to introduce my friend and the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Chairman Tim Briggs.
Thanks, Representative Kenyatta. You are a true champion. I'm just going to be real brief. I want to thank you all for coming up. I want to thank you all for making government work every day. You are the front lines of government. The bill, the statute that Representative Kenyatta was talking about, 39 distinct professions, legislators, police, elected officials specifically entered, attorney general, the lieutenant governor. No one makes government work like our public employees. If we're going to expand to the 40th, it needs to be a broad expansion to the folks who make government work. I resist adding to that list. I tend to resist adding to the crimes code, but I'm making that exception, and I promise to lead on this, and you have a great champion with Representative Kenyatta to make it sure that when we do it right. and the people that need protection and the added certainty that they will be able to do their jobs are protected in that, and in a broad way, the workers of Pennsylvania. So I support this bill. I'm a co-sponsor of this bill. Commit to bringing it up among the committee, having a good, robust conversation, and hopefully passing it in a bipartisan way. And we'll stand along Representative Kenyatta on the House floor. We have a lot of work to do. We need your help to get it done. We need to hear from workers all across the Commonwealth, the House, the Senate, and we have a long road, but we are committed to fighting for you. So thank you all for being here.
And finally, we're going to hear from another worker and give her some love as she comes, an incredible crossing guard. And I just want to say something special about crossing guards. Come on up here. Something special about crossing guards. I was visiting one of my schools the other day, and I met my local crossing guard, who is still crossing kids across the street after 32 years. 32 years. Now, don't clap too much, because I was a little upset. She looked better and younger than me somehow. But I want to introduce Miss Harris, an incredibly dedicated crossing guard in the city of Philadelphia.
Hello, my name is Tanya Yvette Harris, and I've been a crossing guard for a little over 17 years. On January the 2nd, during my job, I was assaulted by a habitual troublemaker in our community. She followed me home because I tried to get away from the whole nonsense. She literally followed me to my steps, pulled me down the steps. Luckily, it was very cold on January the 2nd, so I had a lot of clothes on. I got hit in the head numerous times, just punched. A couple of neighbors pulled her off of me, and she just kept going on and on. I ended up going to the hospital, and luckily, because of my age, I'm 63, I was okay. It could have been a lot worse. Now, as of this day, and the only reason why I do this job is because I love the children. It is nothing about the pay, trust me. I cross my seniors, I cross everybody. So not only do I have to look out for cars all the time because they want to do what they want to do, I take care of my children. But as of this day, this young lady who has been in trouble numerous times, she has a warrant out for her arrest. Since that day, she's come by me twice and threatened me. I have to make a choice whether to go out there and take the chance that she's going to walk up behind me or this way or that way, even now till the day, until she's arrested. In the meantime, I plan to keep doing my job, and I hope with everybody's help we can get this bill passed. Thank you.
Well, really, that's it. And I just want to thank both of these incredible workers for being here. I want to thank my colleagues who are here. I know Representative Giral was here. Representative Doherty, Northeast Philly is here. Representative Briggs, and these incredible workers for coming up here to tell their stories. And now they're going to get out and do what they do so well: go around and talk to legislators about what's at stake in this moment. And I'll just end with what I said. This is simple. This is pretty simple. Every person deserves to be safe on the job, particularly the public workers that do the critical work of keeping our water running in our homes, our electricity on, making sure our kids are safe, picking up our trash. And if I, as an elected official, get the increased protection under Title 18, then the workers that you just heard from today, they deserve that same protection because they are also doing public service. They are doing public service. So let's get this bill passed, let's get it done, and thank you all so much for being here. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. And stay here, we're gonna take some pictures.